And welcome to Little League Southeast Park in Warner Robins, Georgia, as we begin day one of the Little League Southeastern Regional Championship. Alabama takes on Tennessee in our opening contest. And it's the first of four on this opening day. Virginia will battle Georgia later on at 1 p.m., followed by Florida and West Virginia at 4. In the nightcap, it'll be South Carolina and North Carolina from Warner Robins. And we thank you so much for joining us. Welcome inside the booth, Drew Felios alongside the former big league catcher, Mike LaValliere. Mike, we've had a chance now to cover Little League Baseball year after year. What is it that makes this level of play so awesome?
Well, I tell you one thing, these young players, they bring passion, they bring excitement, and I tell you, they put on a fabulous show for us.
Yeah, we're going to see a great show here this morning. Alabama's got a tough task because they're matched up with the defending champions out of Goodlettsville, Tennessee. This Alabama team is led by J.R. Kitchens.
Well, J.R. Kitchens is really a guy that they rely on. Today, we're going to see him on the mound. He throws real hard. He's got a good curveball, a good changeup. So if he's on, he's got a chance to stop this Tennessee offense. Offensively, he brings a great bat. He's got power. He's got speed. He's Mr. Everything for Alabama.
And for Goodlettsville, Tennessee, they've got 3 returning players back from a season ago, including Carson Rucker.
Like you said, 1 of 3 returnees. Carson Rucker is going to play shortstop. He bats second for this ball club, and they really are going to need to rely on his experiences that he had last year to be a leader for this ball club this year.
Warner Robins is buzzing on this opening day of competition. The Little League Southeastern Regional Championship begins coming up next. Just about set to go here as the teams will take the field. Alabama takes on Tennessee as you get a look at the defending champions of this Little League Southeastern Regional. Dealing for Tennessee will be R.J. Moore. Alabama's going to have a tough time against this big righty here this morning.
R.J. Moore, experience from last year. He's been to Williamsport before. He knows what it's going to take to get there. Fastball, low 70s. If he's pumped up, we might see him 72, 73 miles an hour. He's got a plus curveball, and that is his out pitch. He got a good fastball over the top, and then he throws that 12-6 curveball, comes in, looks like it falls right off of the table. And I tell you, he's going to be a tough pitcher for this Alabama club.
Yeah, coaches say he brings a lot of swag, too. Up to the mound for Tennessee. Let's take a look at the lineup for Alabama. Yoxheimer will get things going. He's the center fielder, followed by Milam. Kitchens in the 3-hole. Wombles is hitting cleanup. He's the catcher. Gilly, Griggs, Tharp, Green, and Pinder rounding out this lineup from Alabama. So Ladonia Youth Sports Little League represented from Alabama, as Alabama will wear the LA Dodgers-like uniforms here this morning. And Tennessee, such a great story from a season ago. Mike, you think that when you size everybody up, this Tennessee team, they got to be the favorite here coming in?
Well, with 3 returnees, you got to think, that they have an advantage, and the fear of the unknown. We all have problems with that, but now you've got 3 players that have been here. They've been to Warner Robins. They've been to the next step, Williamsport, and now they're sharing that with their players. Hey, this is what you can expect. Hey, let's go out and do it.
First pitch for this 2017 Little League Southeastern Regional is outside for ball 1. So Yoxheimer, extremely skilled, especially defensively in center field, leading things off. And you see the velocity early on from R.J. Moore, although he's behind early, 2-0.
Well, you can't help but feel that, whether you've been here or not before, this is a fabulous place, big setting. They're on television, and this is something that might be a little bit of early game jitters.
Inside, and it's 3-0.
A big part of Little League Baseball is throwing strikes. No freebies, I like to call it. The defense is important, but I tell you, if the pitchers keep the other team off the base pass, it gives them such a better chance to win.
Early visit from Logan Harrell. Have a few words with R.J. Moore, try and settle him down. 3-0 the count to Yaxheimer. And this pitch also misses, so 4 straight balls, and Alabama has their leadoff hitter aboard.
Yeah, rather auspicious way to start in the big leagues. The amount of runners that score via bases on balls to lead off an inning is somewhere in the 20% range. I'd have to think at this level it's going to be even more than that.
Now it's Jackson Milam's turn. And Milam watches one, and there's a strike. So 2 Jacksons at the top of the order for Alabama. Jackson Yaxheimer and now Jackson Milam. Second pitch from Moore is high and inside. And a good stop by Logan Harrell behind the plate. Also, you'll be watching, Spanky, the catchers in this tournament. We've seen so many skilled guys in years past.
Well, the years of just putting the kid back there that can't do anything, those years are over. You've got these young players on the mound throwing in the vicinity of the high 60, 70 miles an hour. That's an equivalent of a 92-mile-an-hour major league fastball. So, these kids back there, I mean, they really have to have it going on. They got to keep the ball in front of them. It's a big part of this game.
Now the 1-2, and swinging away for strike 3. So Milam is retired, and there's 1 out.
Well, we talked a little bit about R.J. Moore's fastball. We'll take a look here at that breaking ball, and that's back-to-back breaking balls. And that pitch right there, there's nothing you can do about it, Jackson Milam. You hope that you hit the fastball. Then people ask, hey, how do you hit the breaking ball? Say, don't miss the fastball.
J.R. Kitchens swinging for strike 1. So Kitchens, the big stick in the lineup for this Alabama team.
You notice J.R. Kitchens, your number 3 hitter, usually your top guy. Look at him choking up on the bat. Really like that. Gives you a little bit more bat control.
Another big pitch. Took a little bit off that one. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, that's the plus breaking ball that I was talking about. And I tell you, at 46 feet, you have to get so much spin on that ball to make it break. There's not a lot of time. So obviously he's getting that ball spinning hard.
Ball in the dirt, and that will allow Yaxheimer to advance to second. He'll dig for third. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Good heads-up base running by Jackson Yaxheimer.
Well, this right here is all on the runner. You're not relying on your coach. You watch this. He knows where the catcher is, and now he thinks, oh, I can get to third base. That's outstanding base running by the young man.
Kitchens can't catch up to that, and there's 2 outs. So good job by R.J. Moore to strike out the last 2 batters, and now that'll bring Colton Wombles to the plate. Talking about velocity, Spanky, what is considered? We'll talk about that more in just a moment. There's the defense. Marson, Dakins, and Page in the outfield. Tyler Nix, a skilled third baseman. Rucker at short. Diller at second. Gupton is at first. This is hit and play, and it'll be a single to bring in Yaxheimer. Digging for second is Wombles, and he is in there. So Colton Wombles comes through, and Alabama is on the board.
Well, 2-out hits are absolutely vital if you're going to win this tournament. And this is something Colton Wombles comes up. First pitch breaking ball. He gets it, hangs just a little bit, but a big bounce over a third baseman. Tyler Nix has had no chance. Left fielder Trevor Marson couldn't quite get that ball in. I tell you, that's just outstanding hustle by Wombles. Big hit, and plus he puts himself in scoring position.
So Carson Gilly comes to the plate now with 2 outs. Those 2 out base hits could be the difference in this tournament.
Well, you know, it's such a momentum maker or breaker. As a pitcher, you just punched out the number 3 hitter, arguably the best hitter on their club, and now you give up that 2-out hit. It just really is a shot to you, and now he needs to gather himself up. He's given up the run and try to keep it there.
Carson Gilly is the manager's son. His father, Chris Gilly, runs this Ladonia Youth Sports Little League team from Alabama. The 0-2 pitch taken high, and now 1-2. Gilly very scrappy, and this is a very tough young man to strike out. He will battle you every single pitch. Check swing on that one. Now ahead to first. The ball is in the dirt, and he is going to be safe. The run comes in, and a critical error early on for Tennessee. Alabama able to take advantage.
Well, Logan Harrell, the catcher, does a really nice job of keeping this breaking ball in the dirt. It's a swing, and with first base occupied, he can run. Picks up the ball in good order, and I think it's just a little bit wet out there. He may not have gotten a good grip on the ball. Throw low, and again, we saw Colton Wombles hustle from home to second base. There, he scores on a pitch, just a wild pitch right in front of home plate. Tremendous hustle.
That's
by
a
Wombles.
Lesson too for young players, Mike, because Gilly swung and missed, struck out, but still dug to first when he realized the catcher didn't have it.
And when everybody says, run things out, you never know. There, we just got a first-hand lesson of why you do that. Pressure, put as much pressure on that defense as you can.
So this is Lane Griggs. 7th batter Tennessee has faced. R.J. Moore able to get a strike there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Griggs. This young man very quietly gets things done for Alabama. Alabama's got to be happy, though, with a 2 spot here in this first inning. That will end things. Tremendous pitch by R.J. Moore, but Alabama gets 2. Tennessee coming up here in the bottom of the first. Good start for Alabama as they take a 2-0 lead over Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Drew Felios alongside Mike LaValliere here at the Little League Southeastern Regional Championship. And now it's time for J.R. Kitchens for Alabama to do his thing.
Well, we saw him in the first inning up at the plate. He punched out, but now he's got a 2-run lead. J.R. Kitchens throws the ball pretty good, 70, 72 mile an hour on the fastball, throws a curveball, throws a changeup, and can throw any of those pitches at any time. He's got great command of 3 pitches. With a 2-run lead, it's go get him right here.
See how Tennessee responds offensively as Easton Dillard will be the leadoff guy. Myers Dillard hitting first, Carson Rucker second, Tyler Nix, R.J. Moore, Trevor Marson, Caleb Gupton, Andrew Page, the right fielder, Logan Harrell, the catcher, and Ryan Dakins rounding out the order. So Dillard takes ball 1. Another big right-hander we're watching here this morning. There's a strike to Dillard.
And coaches for Tennessee, Chris Hood, Mike Harrell, and Kelly Gupton, before this tournament, went to the 3 returnees, said, guys, you're going to have to help everybody else.
Carson Gilly makes the play at second, and there's 1 away. Take a look at the defense for Alabama in the outfield. We've got Levi Pinder in left, Yoxheimer, the center fielder, Wyatt Tharp in right. Third baseman is Lane Griggs. Brandon Green, the shortstop. Carson Gilly at second just made that play. Milam, the first baseman, and Colton Wombles behind the plate. There's another hard hit ball, but Gilly going to his left takes care of it. And there's 2 away.
Well, this is what you want to see if you're an Alabama fan. You've put 2 points up on the board. Now you've got Tennessee coming up there, 1, 2, 3. You shut them down here, that keeps that momentum. It's all about shutdown innings. After you score, you're trying to go out there the next inning and obviously never give up any runs, but it's so important momentum-wise, and I think this is a huge part of this ballgame.
Tyler Nix now for Tennessee. Tremendous on-base percentage for this young man. And a strike delivered. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
There's that breaking ball. First one that we've seen from Kitchens, and that's something that he's going to have to mix in, keep him off that heater.
Nix swinging a miss for strike 3. How about the start for J.R. Kitchens and Alabama? A 2-0 shutdown inning coming up in the top of the second next. Welcome back to the Southeastern Regional Championship. Some facts and figures, Little League Baseball. Mike LaValliere, I don't think there's a better organization in youth sports.
Well, I tell you one thing, what it's about is tradition. I get a chance to play Little League. It's a rite of passage for you to get in there. You play until you're 12 years old. At that point, it's on to bigger and better things. But I tell you, I think all of us that played Little League Baseball, we remember it. And what a great organization. And time does tell. The more quality it is, the longer it happens. And we're getting to really enjoy it here in Warner Robins.
Since 1939 in Warner Robins, carrying on that tradition. Alabama will go 9-1-2. Here in the second, Wyatt Tharp leading things off. R.J. Moore had a tough start for Tennessee before finding his range. Once again, there's the numbers on Tharp. See several of these players loving Mike Trout in Major League Baseball. What is it about Mike Trout? Young players just seem to flock to him, Mike.
Well, I tell you one thing, he's a dynamic personality, but more importantly, I think everybody loves the way he plays the game. Tremendous talent. He can run. He's got power. Tremendous on defense. Yeah, he makes home run robbing catches. It seems like it's weekly. This is a guy that he's an exciting guy to be there. And, I want to pay my ticket. I want to go see Mike Trout. I want to see him hit the home run. I want to see him steal that base. And I want to see him rob that home run. It's great stuff to watch.
Wyatt Tharp got great speed on the base pass if he can get on for Alabama. 3-0 count, and he'll take ball 4. And that's the second inning that R.J. Moore has walked the opening batter.
Well, and R.J., you saw is pretty, unorthodox first inning. He punched out 4 guys and gave up 2 runs. Obviously an error played a big part of that, but the walk and then the base hit and some good aggressive base running by Alabama. And here you see, like you said, 4 punch outs and giving up 2 runs.
Brandon Green's first time up. Green is the shortstop. So now 5 straight balls delivered by Moore. 28 pitch for R.J. Moore, and it's outside. Mike, what is considered really, really fast at the Little League level in terms of velocity?
Well, I think we saw a couple years ago from South Carolina, Alex Edmondson was throwing 80 miles an hour. He threw a no-hitter. He had a breaking ball. I mean, that is just that's Aroldis Chapman fast, 105, 106 miles an hour of the equivalency. But I tell you, you're anywhere in the 70-mile-an-hour range at this level. You're throwing from 46 feet. It's the equivalent of a 92-mile-an-hour Major League fastball, which is pretty much the average. And I tell you, that's something that you've got less than a half a second to decide if you're going to swing once that ball leaves his hand. So next time you're at home and you're thinking, why did he swing at that? Well, I was a quarter second off.
3-1 count now to Brandon Green. Top of the order coming up next. Green gets a piece of it, hangs in there, 3-2.
So far, it looks like R.J. Moore really has more command of his curveball than his fastball. He's throwing many more fastballs outside the zone. It's a situation where, yes, you've got a good fastball, but you've got to get over the plate. And he's just not going to last if he continues to throw breaking ball after breaking ball. Eventually, that's going to fatigue that arm.
Big pitch coming up here. And got him to swing at it. So Brandon Green strikes out. He'll be the first out of the inning for Alabama. Take a look at the pitch count numbers. Now, this is critical, not just in terms of a game, but the entire tournament, Mike, because pitch counts, the teams that are very successful know how to regulate those.
Well, they do, and it's not just your coaches now filling up a lineup card and throwing the guys out there. We're protecting these young players' arms, so there are the pitch counts. If you end up throwing 66 or more pitches, you're automatically 4 days off. You will not pitch again. So what they're trying to do is, some of the coaches like to piecemeal their games and try to keep the guys eligible, or maybe have 1 day off. And that's what's so important about throwing strikes. You're walking a lot of guys, your pitch count's going up, and what that does, that brings us into your third and maybe fourth day of the tournament when you're not eligible to pitch again.
Here's Levi Pinder. Pinder gets a piece and fouls this one back, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, ideally, if you can stay under 20 pitches, that keeps you eligible for every game. Now, our starting pitchers are probably not going to have that happen. They're going to go in somewhere usually between the 36 and 50 pitch, which makes them having a couple days off.
Ball gets away. Allow Wyatt Tharp to advance to second base. So right now, early indications from Tennessee that they are all in today for R.J. Moore.
Well, you'd have to think that they're going to go as long as they can. They're fairly deep. They got 6 or 7 players that can get to the mound for them. I'd have to think that the leash is going to be a little bit shorter, though, if he's not throwing strikes. They need to get somebody in there. They got to keep this down to 2 runs. From what I've seen, Kitchens on the other side, he's got good stuff. 2 runs, will it be enough? Will remains to be seen. But you can't let up 3, 4, 5 runs and dig yourself a big hole.
Full count now to Levi Pinder. Pinder takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. It's another great pitch by R.J. Moore, and there's 2 away.
Well, that was more of a location than anything right there. That was a good fastball located. We'll take a look right on the inside corner. Nice job, Logan Harrell, making that pitch look good.
And looks like we could have our first pitching change of the morning. Just as we were talking about pitch counts with R.J. Moore.
And this is really, this is what that depth is all about. And, Tennessee, to me, having maybe a little bit of an advantage, being here the last few years, winning it last year, knowing that, you've got to be 5, 6, maybe even 7 deep. If you're going through the losers bracket at this tournament, you might need to throw out 6 or 7 different players out on the mound to help you out.
Manager Chris Hood for Tennessee. Assistant coaches Mike Harrell and Kelly Gupton. 2 assistants, Harrell and Gupton, both played at Goodlettsville Little League. Back now coaching this team. And what a start early on for Alabama, a team that has not had much success recently here at this Southeastern Regional, but they are out to a 2-0 lead on the defending champion. Just proves it each year. Teams are different, players are different. Every team hungry for a title.
And going into this tournament, they weren't as tested. They needed 3 games to advance here, where other teams end up playing 9, 10, 12 different games. Alabama obviously a little bit rested, but yeah, I can tell you this, they are certainly ready. And good game plan. They came in, made more, try to get them throw the ball over the plate, and they've worked it pretty good in their favor.
So new pitcher is going to be Andrew McWilliams for Tennessee.
Well, Andrew McWilliams, not quite as much velocity as R.J. Moore. He's going to throw in the middle to upper 60s. Throws a curveball, so a 2-pitch pitcher. And his job right now is to keep his team in the game. They've got runner on. Get them out of this inning. Get their offense back out there and see if they can chip away.
So So McWilliams warming up. He'll face Jackson Yoxheimer, top of the order for Alabama. RJ Moore moves to center field for Tennessee.
We saw in the first inning, Alabama with that big two-out hit to score that initial run. Here they've got similar scenario. Runner on second base, 2 outs. Get your leadoff hitter up. You got to feel pretty good if you're Alabama.
So here's Yoxheimer with 2 away as Alabama tries to add to their lead. Strike 1. RJ Moore has moved to right field for Tennessee. This ball gets away, and it'll be another opportunity for Alabama as base runner advances to third.
Yeah, just Logan Harrell on that pitch. It was a breaking ball. Didn't break as much as he thought. That's a situation as a catcher. You know, the ball's outside the strike zone. Sometimes we get a little greedy as catchers, try to make that pitch look a little bit too good. Instead, you're going back to the backstop and picking it up instead of just going ahead and catching that. And that's my advice for all of our younger catchers out there. When the ball's off the plate, don't make it look too good. That umpire's not going to call it a strike.
2-1 to Yoxheimer. Fouls this one back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alabama coaches say this young man, Jackson Yoxheimer, is the best center fielder in this entire tournament. I know all coaches are partial to their players, Mike, but interesting to see throughout the day if anybody is as skilled as Jackson Yoxheimer. The 2-2. Gets a piece right back at McWilliams. Nice stab with the glove. And that's going to be it for Alabama in the second. Tennessee try and get the bats going in the bottom of the second when we return to Warner Robins. Little League Southeastern Region Championship. Here's the regional pool in the Southeast. 8 states make up the field for this championship. Look at all the states competing. Can you believe that Florida leads the way with 22 punch tickets to Williamsport? Tennessee, Alabama, Virginia, they have all got 8. Georgia has gone to Williamsport 6 times. North Carolina 4, South Carolina 3, and yes, West Virginia did make 1 trip to Williamsport back in 1951. And I know last year that West Virginia team made a lot of strides to get to Williamsport. That team was something else.
Well, a few years ago, they really struggled in this regional. You know, they're pretty much two and done a number of years in a row. They broke through 3 years ago, finally got a win last year. They're 1 win away from the finals. And I tell you, this is a team that was gutsy. It was fun to watch these guys. And I tell you, it really made a difference in West Virginia and their whole thinking about things.
Hit hard to first, but taken care of by Jackson Milam. And there's 1 away. West Virginia will take on Florida later on at 4 o'clock here in Warner Robins.
You know, and that was one of the things I asked the West Virginia coach yesterday. You know, what impact did that make on your state? And it says, it really gave us a feeling of belonging. It's like we can play in this region, and I tell you, they come in with a lot of hopes, a lot of confidence. Just knowing that their predecessors have really laid out a nice path for them to follow.
Here's Trevor Marson, one of the biggest kids in this Tennessee lineup. Takes one low and away, 1-1.
So far, Kitchen's very effective. He's got a little tail on that fastball, and what that is the ball is running in on the right-handed hitters, and he's jamming them a lot, and that's how you handle power hitters. You don't want to get their arms extended. When their arms get extended, that's when we see balls flying way out of here. When you keep it in tight, you have to be so good with your hands, keeping your hands inside the ball in order to get to the barrel to it. And right now, Kitchen's just living inside in that kitchen in the kitchen.
Marsons couldn't do anything with that, and it's another strikeout for J.R. Kitchens. So Kitchens has been impressive so far.
And this is just what I was talking about. There's that fastball, and it just has just a little bit of a tail on it, but most of it is just great location, up above the hands, inside, and just ties up the big fella.
The crowd really behind J.R. Kitchens right now for Alabama. Meanwhile, Caleb Gupton steps in for Tennessee. Gupton's got the knack for the big hit. This is a guy that usually gets things going. Pops this one up. It is high. Carson Gilly drifting back. The right fielder, Wyatt Tharp, sliding in to make the play. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Tennessee. Alabama out to a 2-0 lead. The defense making a statement here in Warner Robins. Great start for Alabama early on here in this Southeast Regional Championship. Look at Phenix City, Alabama. Population just shy of 40,000. Very close to Columbus, Georgia. Right now they have got to be proud of this club. And Mike, when you talk about Phenix City, also remember players like Colby Rasmus in 1999, Casey Rasmus as well, Brian Woodall, some of the greats that have come out of Phenix City.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just proves that you don't have to live in a big city in order to be prosperous. They've got great coaching there and obviously a tremendous tradition.
Ball one to Jackson Milam. Milam, a big, strong left-handed hitter. Good opposite field power as well. Swing and a miss for a strike one.
It's a lot of younger players, they don't develop pull power until they get a little bit older. I really like that fact. Some of the big players, big power hitters that I played when it was Frank Thomas, Bo Jackson, they had good opposite field power.
Base hit into center field for Milam. And once again, the leadoff hitter is aboard for Alabama. They've done a great job, Mike, of putting their leadoff hitters on, really getting the rallies going.
Yeah, and this ball here, just a breaking ball, just kind of stayed up just a little bit. Nice, short, compact swing by Milam, not trying to do too much. And again, like you said, so important. You keep the pressure on the defense. When you can get that leadoff hitter on, now that makes that defense work that much harder.
J.R. Kitchens' turn now. He takes a big cut for Alabama. Kitchens goes by the nickname of Big Red. And if you look closely, Mike LaValliere, you will see what the coaches say is a mustache on the face of Kitchens. He says, I'm trying to grow it, and you know what? I'm not going to shave it until our run to Williamsport is over. I don't think it's ending anytime soon.
Yeah, in hockey they have a playoff beard. Well, he's got the playoff stash. We might need to have the HD in order to pick up a few of those hairs. But yeah, the young man's trying.
1-1 pitch. And this one just misses. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Kitchens with Milam at first.
You saw in his first at-bat, Kitchens offering at that breaking ball. There's 2 really good breaking balls that McWilliams threw right there, and he just laid off of them. He's either seeing the ball a little bit better or just not quite enough quick break on it for McWilliams. But he's had 2, that one especially, great swings at the heater. You can see why he's seeing the breaking balls from the pitcher.
The Alabama team looking very relaxed here in this opening game. Here, the first game of the tournament. Doesn't always happen here in Warner Robins. Concentration from Kitchens. 3-2 pitch coming his way. And strike 3. Good delivery that time from Andrew McWilliams.
I think those breaking balls set it up, and since Kitchens had such a good swing at that fastball, in the back of his mind, probably looking breaking ball, and here picks the outside corner with that fastball. Outstanding location by McWilliams on that heater.
So now it's the cleanup hitter, Colton Wombles.
And then this young man made quite an impression in that first inning. Get the big 2-out hit to knock in the first run, hustled into second base, and just good hustle again on the error by the catcher on the throw in the dirt and end up scoring. So this young man, he came to play. He's at 1,000%.
How about the old school look too? The all black shoes, kind of a throwback player here, Colton Wombles.
Yeah, say maybe a little bit of Hunter Pence in him right there. Here we go. Young man brings his bat and glove to the ballpark with them black spikes. Say, hey, let's get it on.
Wombles takes a big cut. This is hit to left field. And in to make the catch is Trevor Marson. There's 2 away.
There's a breaking ball by McWilliams that Wombles waited on, just got a little bit underneath it. He had a good swing at that. He squares that up. That might have been our first dinger of the tournament.
Not much wind right now. Got a light wind blowing to the right side. And now Carson Gilly steps to the plate with 2 down. Runner on first here in the top of the 3rd. Alabama has silenced the Tennessee bats. Tennessee has not had a base runner just yet. Gilly watches this one into the catcher's mitt, and it's ball 2.
The situation as you're a hitter, it's 2-0. You've got a runner on base. You're looking for one pitch in one spot. Fastball in your favorite place. Maybe it's middle away. Maybe it's knee high right down the middle. But that's something as a hitter, that's when you have to really be disciplined and not swing at that pitcher's pitch.
Carson Gilly, the coach's son. Andrew McWilliams in relief of R.J. Moore. Second pitcher Tennessee has used today. And there's a strike.
And it's interesting, I get asked, when do you give the hitter a green light? 3-0 when there's 2 outs. If I've got a hitter up at the plate that's got a chance to hit the ball over the fence, a real good chance, I'm going to go ahead and let him swing at it. If it's a singles, doubles hitter with somebody on base, I'm going to go ahead and have him take one, see if we can get that runner in scoring position. So that's, as a rule, I like to let that guy that's got that thump go ahead and take a swing at it 3-0 if he likes it.
Saw Gilly try at that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. McWilliams comes through for Tennessee. Andrew McWilliams has set the table. Tennessee looking to get the bats going through 2.5 here in Warner Robins. Surprising start here at this Little League Southeastern Regional Championship. Alabama with a 2-0 lead on Tennessee, because you look back over the past 5 years, and Mike LaValliere, Tennessee has won this championship 4 out of those last 5 tries.
Yeah, you look at 2015, and Big Alex Edmondson had something to say about that. But you're talking about a stranglehold on the region. 4 out of 5 years. That says a lot about the quality of baseball in and around Goodlettsville, Tennessee.
It takes good volunteers. Takes families that really take pride in their baseball. Had a chance to talk with Coach Hood and Coach Harrell and Coach Gupton. They said that it's just pride that comes with the area, knowing that we've got some of the best young athletes in the state here in Goodlettsville. A few defensive changes for Alabama. Yoxheimer moves to right field. And Andrew McWilliams will lead things off for Tennessee. He's the pitcher. Mike, when you consider what these coaches go through throughout the course of a Little League postseason, a lot of mixing and matching going on, a lot of playing for the future, weighing with pitch counts and defensive changes. You really do have to be a manager.
Well, you really do, and it's all about your roster size and what you have to do in mandatory play. You see that graphic. If a team has 13 or 14 players, which is 7 out of the 8 teams, the only team that has less than that is Alabama. So now Alabama has to have their substitutes. They have to play consecutive 6 outs in the ballpark or in the defense, and then they have to have 1 at bat. Conversely, at your Tennessee, you have 4 substitutes. That just means that they have to have 4 at bats. So again, it's just not about just throwing 9 guys out there and saying, hey, go get them. Now you really have to do some managing. You mix in the pitch counts, and I tell you, it's not just your volunteer, hey, come do this. You really have to know what you're doing.
Strike delivered to Andrew McWilliams. So far, it's been the J.R. Kitchens show for Alabama. Another strike delivered. So 0-2 quickly to McWilliams. This is hit right in front of the right fielder. Nicely done. Jackson Yoxheimer trots in to field it, but it's the first base hit of the game for Tennessee.
That's the pitch that J.R. Kitchens has been relying on, that good hard fastball inside. This fastball may be getting a little bit too much of the plate. Good job by McWilliams fighting that ball off. Didn't hit it real well on the barrel, but enough strength to knock it over the second baseman's head.
Now bring up the catcher, now Logan Harrell. Tennessee trying to get something going. The defending champions tested here in this opening contest. This one's up the middle, and now back-to-back base hits. And Tennessee has got something cooking here in the third.
Well, just as we've seen, just a little break in the clouds, some sunshine, and that's brought the Tennessee bats alive. And sometimes it's like something that just it feeds on itself. You get one guy gets a hit, now all of a sudden the next guy comes up there, a little more confidence. Now you get back-to-back hits after they really haven't done anything in the first 2 innings.
Ryan Dakin's first time up for Tennessee. J.R. Kitchens, first time he has been tested. 23rd pitch. He has been as efficient as can be. There's a little chopper to the first baseman. Step on the bag for 1. And Milam will hold the runner, so that's the first out of the inning, and well played by Milam.
It really was, and there's a situation the ball is bounced a little bit too high. There's no chance at any other runner. Sometimes you'll see some first basemen try to get aggressive, try to get that lead runner. In this particular time, Jackson really had one opportunity to get the out, and he got it. Very smart play.
Top of the order now for Tennessee, Easton Dillard. Dillard, one of those kids that's just 100% all the time. Hit again to Milam. Play at the plate now. Tennessee will go back to home. The tag, and he's out. A great play by Colton Wombles, the catcher. And Tennessee unable to score. Alabama gets a huge play, and there's 2 down.
Well, Andrew McWilliams got a little bit too far off. Heads up by Jackson Milam, knocking him off of third base. You'd think almost get the out at first base, take the out, give up the run. But there's a situation where it worked out best for Alabama, and I got to think that we are going to have our first replay of the tournament. So you got Chris Hood that's talking with our home plate umpire, David Singleton. They'll get together, they'll get on the headsets, they'll send it upstairs here and try to see if they have another look at it.
Got to ask you, what do you think is being replayed? The play at the plate specifically, because it looked like from our vantage point he was out by a mile.
Well, the ball beat the runner. And before replay, that was 98% of the time he was out. Now with the advent of this replay, it changes things to the naked eye from where we are. Oh, yeah, he's definitely out. But I tell you, I looked at the replay. It's going to be close. He may even be declared safe. I don't know. But I tell you, it's something that, replay, good or bad, there's a lot of proponents. There's a lot of, folks that don't like it at all. It's something that it's part of the game and just the way it is.
Big smiles on the faces of Alabama. These kids are just having a ball in this opening contest.
And I'm sure, for all these kids, this is their first chance of having a replay. This doesn't happen, in your local tournaments, back home. Here, we just are able to utilize the technology and having our great camera crews giving so many great angles. Take a look at it here, and we see catcher Colton Womble's got it. Tag being applied. Home plate umpire making the call. And his call is the play stands. Runners out, first and second, 2 out. Nice job by Alabama defense.
So Tennessee denied their first run of the game. And with 2 outs now, Carson Rucker steps into the play. Colton Wombles, one happy camper right now behind the plate for Alabama. Here's Rucker now taking one outside. Carson Rucker, meanwhile, a guy, Spanky, that no matter what keeps that even-keeled demeanor. He is a leader on this Tennessee team. Something good happens, something bad happens. His reaction, steady as she goes as he takes a big cut there, 1-2.
That's a big part of this ball game right here. I talked earlier about 2-out hits. You've got one of your veteran guys up there. 2-out hit goes a long way.
One ball, 2 strikes now. Carson Rucker, one of 3 returning players for Goodlettsville, Tennessee. J.R. Kitchens dealing for Alabama. This would be huge if he could get this out. This is hit to the center fielder. Going back, and it's gone! First home run of the tournament. Carson Rucker comes through for Tennessee, and Goodlettsville has taken a 3-2 lead.
J.R. Kitchens has done a nice job keeping that breaking ball down. That one was up, out over the plate. Carson Rucker made no mistake. This is what you do with breaking balls that don't break. Good swing, got it way up in the air. Good effort out in center field, but no chance. Now we've got a completely new ball game. Looking into this, going in the bottom of the inning, Alabama just had this game just absolutely tied up. Tennessee was behind. There you go. Veteran guy leading by example. You can talk all you want, but when you're up at the plate and you come up with a 3-run bomb with 2 outs, that's how you lead.
Carson Rucker, one swing of the bat. Tennessee changes the game. And now they lead 3-2. Tyler Nix comes up now for the defending champions. And new life, you can just feel it through their dugout. Big cut by Nix, 1-2. And got him. So J.R. Kitchens gets out of the inning, but the biggest blow delivered by Carson Rucker of Tennessee, a 3-run bomb to end the third. It's 3-2 here in Warner Robins. While I was talking about that even-keeled demeanor of Carson Rucker, no matter what happens, he is always the same for Tennessee. It paid off big time in that last inning with a 3-run bomb.
Well, it's a great at-bat because the pitch prior to that was a good inside fastball that Kitchens has really been very effective with. He fouled that one off, got himself another pitch and then took advantage of a breaking ball, didn't break quite as much as Kitchens wanted. It stayed up, out over the plate, and that's a sign of a good, experienced hitter. Don't miss the mistake, because you miss the mistake, a lot of chance you don't get a second chance.
So let's see how this Alabama team responds. First time they've trailed in this ball game. And this ball is delivered just high. Carson Scott, 11-year-old for Alabama, leads things off here in the fourth. And a big swing for strike one. Seems like, Mike, that so many big home runs here in Warner Robins year after year happen to dead center field.
A lot of these young players, again, they don't develop their pull power until they get a little bit bigger, a little stronger, and get a little bit more efficient with their hands. So what they're doing is they're getting that ball out over the plate, they're getting extended, and that's where you see a lot of home runs to center field and opposite field, because that's where the balls are located. Those pitches that are inside, and pitching inside effectively is almost a lost art with the advent of this composite and these aluminum bats. You know, the pitchers can't break these things. Wooden bats, yeah, you end up with a handful of splinters, or you learn how to hit that inside pitch. And now the pitchers, you know, they can make a great pitch. Guys still fight it off for a hit. So what they do is, you know, they try to go to the weaknesses of the hitters, try to keep the ball down in the way, which right now is probably as effective pitch as there is.
How about Carson Scott coming through for Alabama as he gets a base hit? Now they'll pinch run for him and bring in Wyatt Tharp. But Alabama once again gets their leadoff hitter aboard. They've done that every single inning. Aubrey Wimberly will now step in for Alabama. Tharp will be the pinch runner. So Alabama continues to put pressure on Tennessee. That's a good sign. A lot of times when you see a team that gives up a 3-run homer in the lead, they'll come out a little bit deflated. But Alabama continues to put their foot on the gas pedal.
Well, they sure do, and they've given themselves chances. You know, over the course of a 6-inning game, you may end up, having a leadoff guy on maybe twice. Here, you know, we've seen, every inning that Alabama's had their leadoff hitter get on.
Wimberly pulls back, takes ball one.
And one of the things that we're seeing is these substitutes. These are all players that usually hit number 3 or number 4 on their own teams. So, you know, you're not losing a whole lot whenever you're going to your bench. You're going to your bench with a quality player.
You know what I love from this Alabama team? Socks, the stirrups. Used to love lacing those up back in the day. That old LA Dodger look for Ladonia U Sports Little League. Logan Harrell behind the plate for Tennessee. 1-1 the count. And a big swing that time from Wimberly. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a good breaking ball by McWilliams. Wimberly way out in front of that ball. Now as a hitter, 2 strikes. Trying to protect. Cut your swing down. Get the ball in play.
Good eye by Wimberly. Now 2-2. Alabama took a 2-0 lead in the first inning. They led until the third when Tennessee got the big home run from Carson Rucker. That's where we stand right now. Wimberly watches it outside, 3-2. Pitch count from McWilliams now up to 32. Struck him out. Big pitch from Andrew McWilliams, and there's 1 away.
Well, location was the key on that, not so much the velocity, but this is a fastball, down and away, knee high. As a hitter, you're thinking, well, please call that outside. Unfortunately for Wimberly, it was strike 3.
That brings up Brandon Green now. Green has got surprising power. Waiting at the bottom of the order for Alabama. puts it in play, and this one is into the outfield. So second base hit of the inning for Alabama. Runners on first and second now with one out.
Yeah, nice job. Brandon Green got a breaking ball. Looked like it was a good location for the pitcher. Down and away. Just snuck it in between Nix and Rucker. Both of them diving. What we call a seeing eye ground ball.
So Brandon Green so scrappy in the Alabama lineup. There's Wyatt Tharp now at second. Alabama in this situation with one out. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. So Alabama will once again go to their bench. And it's going to be Gage Woods
replacing number 1, Levi Pender,
coming off the bench. So
13,
he's going to be
Gage
called
Woods.
on in a very big situation. So let's see what Woods can do here with 2 on. Top of the 4th inning. Andrew McWilliams. That one gets away. Runners will advance. So a golden opportunity for Alabama to tie or perhaps retake the lead here.
Now this one right here, catcher can't do anything about this. This is a fastball up and out over the plate, way off the plate. And I tell you, it's so big right now because now a base hit, a good chance it's going to score 2 instead of 1. You score 2, you get back up on the lead. Now you've got the momentum back in your favor.
Woods watches this one inside, but it paints the corner for a strike. Woods with a golden opportunity to help his ball club here in the 4th inning. McWilliams, 38th pitch on the way. Another big strike right there, and it's 1-2.
Now as a hitter, I'm in this situation. I'm going to try to basically play pepper with the middle infielders. Your shortstop, your second baseman are playing back. Hit a ground ball to them, the run's going to score.
1-2 to Woods. Watches this one high.
Breaking ball just a little bit too high.
It's all McWilliams. The throw back to him got away. Got to be careful with a runner on third.
Always a little bit of excitement whenever you get that transfer from the catcher back to the pitcher with that runner on third base. As a catcher, it puts a little more pressure on you.
2-2 now. Big swing by Woods, and McWilliams is able to strike him out. Second out of the inning. And a good job by Andrew McWilliams fending off this Alabama order.
That's a good fastball by McWilliams. At a location was huge on this. This ball up out of the strike zone. It looks so good coming in, Drew. The ball's eye high. Okay, you're seeing it better than that pitch that's low. But by the time you're getting ready to swing at it, it's already by you. It's too late.
You mentioned the infielders playing back. Situation like that, 1 out, second and third. How about a nice bunt down the right or left field line, Mike?
Well, you know what? It's a situation where these coaches know their players. Is my batter capable of being able to do that? With 2 strikes especially, I'm probably just letting them go ahead and swing the bat. Again, this is a young man that usually bats probably 3rd or 4th on his team. So you got to give him the confidence builder of, hey, go ahead and swing the bat. I'm a little greedy too, because I'm thinking that he's going to get the base hit there and score 2 runs. Is 1 run going to be enough? You can't win on a tie game, so that's what I'm thinking.
So we're going to have a new pitcher for Tennessee. We'll introduce you to him and have more from Warner Robins when we return. New pitcher for Tennessee. He is their showstopper. Take us through. Mike, what does Trevor Marson bring to the hill?
Well, Trevor Marson brings to the hill power. He's a power pitcher. He may throw the best fastball that we may see in this tournament. He has clocked in at 74, 75 miles an hour, which is, again, the equivalent. If he throws a 75-mile-an-hour fastball from 46 feet, That's 99 miles an hour. So he's going to gas it up. He's got a little bit of breaking ball. It's all about throwing hard.
Ball one delivered. Jackson Yoxheimer, top of the order for Alabama. Alabama with runners on second and third. 2 outs. Critical moment in this opening game here in the Little League Southeastern Regional.
You see Yoxheimer up there, and really all he's doing is taking a pitch. He's giving the pitcher a different look. You know, that fake bunt, he at no point is going to sacrifice here with 2 outs. So it's something that, again, trying to take a strike and seeing if he can get up in the count or he can get a good pitch to hit.
For Tennessee, Andrew McWilliams has moved to right field. R.J. Moore now, who started the game pitching, is in left. 2-1 to Yoxheimer. And he watches ball 3. Very interesting. If the bases load up here, see how Trevor Marson deals with it. Another strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count.
That fastball just barely catching that outside corner. Tough pitch. As a hitter, you go ahead and tip your cap to the pitcher on that one. Say, hey, that one right there, I don't want to try to hit that one. I want to see if you can make a mistake more towards the middle of the plate.
This will be the 6th pitch for Trevor Marson, and his biggest one. Fouled away. Keep in mind, if you have a player who comes up there and fouls numerous pitches away, that's huge because that eats up pitches, and every pitch is critical in Little League Baseball.
Yeah, and as a hitter, the more pitches you see, to me, the more advantage you gain. You're able to see, you really, if he throws up the kitchen sink, you say, I've seen that one before.
Waving at it's Yoxheimer, and Marson able to get the critical strikeout. So Alabama strands 2 through 3.5. It's 3-2 here in Warner Robins. Well, this Little League Southeastern Regional, this is the division at a glance. A division of Little League International. 8 teams playing for the chance to go to Williamsport. Ages 10 to as high as 13 years old, although birthdays definitely taken into consideration. 6-inning games and minimum mandatory play. Every player must play here at the Little League Southeastern Regional.
And those rules, Drew, and I talk about tradition, those were in effect whenever I was playing. I think they've had to modify them with certain roster sizes, but that's been a tried and true winning formula.
Moore puts it in play, and that's all he needs to do because R.J. Moore has tremendous speed, and he's going to be the first base runner of the inning for Tennessee.
Well, again, J.R. Kitchens, with a real good fastball, tied up Moore. Moore was able to just fist it into third base. No chance at all for our third baseman to field that ball. He was well past the bag.
The batter is pitcher number 12, Trevor Marson.
Here's Trevor Marson. Marson now pitching for Tennessee. Got that big strikeout to end the inning for Alabama. This is put in play and in the perfect spot, into left field. And now runners on first and second for Tennessee. Tennessee, they are just so tough.
Yeah, even down 2-0, didn't look like anything was happening, but you never saw any panic there. And what that is all about is been there, done that. They were here. They realized that you may not lead in every game, but last year they won 4 straight, and then off to Williamsport they went. So it's a team that knows how to win. It's an organization that's used to winning, and I tell you, it breeds confidence.
Gupton shoots one into right field. That was a missile. Moore's going to dig for home, and Tennessee has gone up on top, 4-2.
Caleb Gupton just absolutely hammered this ball. Jackson Milam, the first baseman, couldn't quite get down to it in time. Aubrey Wimberly, the right fielder, trying to do a little bit too much, trying to get that runner at home, just a little bit of bobble, and R.J. Moore just scooted on home. Here's that rocket you see that just get by him, and again, R.J. Moore just able to just cruise on in the home plate with that extra run.
And now a visit to the mound. J.R. Kitchens done so many great things on the mound for Alabama here this morning. At only 38 pitches through 4 innings, Mike, that pitch count still very low, but still you got to look at the scoreboard at this point. Perhaps think maybe time to give somebody else a chance and save Kitchens for another day.
Yeah, this is a situation where, again, these coaches know their teams. They're either, right now it looks like, you know what, they feel that J.R. Kitchens is going to give them the best chance to win this ball game. They're down 2. They've been threatening every single inning, so it's not like you know, they're down a bunch of runs. If they were down a bunch of runs, probably you'd go with somebody else, see if you can save Kitchens for somewhere down the road. But again, you know, it's all about these coaches and what they know of the abilities of their own team.
Andrew Page will be the batter for Tennessee. Page has tremendous speed. I'll tell you what, the size of these Tennessee players got to be the biggest team in this tournament. Page, another example. This kid is an all-around athlete. Runners on first and third for Tennessee. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Yeah, good pitch right there, down and in. Outstanding by Kitchens, and I tell you, JR is out there, and he is competing. He is giving all 100% of what he's got.
This is low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
In this situation, you know, first and third, nobody out. You know, the Tennessee offense choosing to be a little conservative here.
Page, a little confused on that one, and before he made up his mind, the ball was by him. That's the first out of the inning.
And a big out. Now you get a situation where, you know, Kitchens, if you can keep this ball in the infield, maybe even a double play. Now, again, a big shot in the arm. They give up just 1 run in this inning. That's huge for Alabama.
Mason Hood's going to get his first at-bat for Tennessee. Look at the size difference there between Mason Hood and Trevor Marson.
It kind of reminds me of when I was catching and going to the mound to talk to my pitchers. Most of these guys are 6'4", 6'6", and my job was to run to get to the rubber because that's the highest point, because it was hard to argue or to prove my point to these guys whenever I'm looking way up at them. So I've been there, done that. I understand what Mason Hood was dealing with.
Who's the tallest pitcher you ever worked with, Mike?
Oh gosh, I think there's about 12 guys that are tied for first at about 6'7".
Wow.
And nobody, I didn't get the big unit at 6'10". That would have been a little bit too imposing. I would have had to bring a little stool out there, plus get on top of the mound.
So Mason Hood steps into the box for Tennessee. McWilliams has been inserted into the game for Tennessee. He's the runner right now at first base. So if you are Mason Hood right now, Mike, of course, coming into the game, key situation, off the bench, what are you thinking right now?
Well, right now, again, it's a matter of what gives you the best chance to get a hit, and that's seeing the ball out of the hand. You can't get ahead of yourself. You can't go up there thinking, you know what, I've got to get a hit, because now your focus is on something that's out of your control. You've got to be able to focus on getting the ball out of the hand and making a good swing. That gives you the best chance. It takes away a little bit of that, nervousness.
And a good job by J.R. Kitchens. Tough at-bat for Mason Hood, but that's a situation he'll certainly learn from, and not much chance in this at-bat.
Well, again, you see the catcher, Womble's outside, and Kitchens hits it just absolutely perfect. A lot of times when that happens, an umpire is going to go ahead and call it. That ball maybe just snuck on that outside corner, but again, close enough to call. It's close enough to hit. And, in that situation, as a hitter with 2 strikes, I advise my younger players, and actually all the players, don't get beat with the fastball away. Because what that does is that keeps that left shoulder in there a little bit longer. Should they throw you the breaking ball, now you're in a better position to hit it. That fastball away, again, that's the pitch that most pitchers can throw best. You're ready for it. If you throw it inside, hey, do your best. But it's awful tough. You get guys in scoring position to let that bat lay on that shoulder and have that umpire punch you out.
Nick Kropf, his first at-bat for Tennessee. And a big swing with 2 outs. If Alabama can keep this a 4-2 game, and as we've said, they've continued to put the leadoff hitter aboard every single inning, this will be a huge play as Kitchens quickly ahead 0-2. It seemed like Kitchens is into his windup before Kropf was even fully ready that time. He is speeding up that delivery, and that's why. 1, 2, 3, an easy strikeout for J.R. Kitchens. Alabama not giving up just yet. They'll need to get the bats going in the 5th when we return.
Number 1, Nick Kropf. Number 15, Ryan Deacon.
Well, we invite you to catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including scores, stats, highlights, and much more. Go to LLBWS.org or follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS. Alabama trailing Tennessee by a count of 4-2. And the third pitcher in the game for Tennessee going to be put to the test. Trevor Marson, effective as soon as he was inserted into the game in the last inning, and now they'll have to deal with a very aggressive Alabama lineup. Jackson Milam will lead things off. Big swing and a miss for strike 1 to Jackson Milam.
Here as Alabama, you got to get it down to, we've got 6 outs. We've got to make sure that, we get good at-bats. If we're going to make the outs, we got to make sure that Tennessee earns them. Milam with a good swing at that first fastball. Different theories there. You're down by a couple runs. Maybe you take a pitch, but you get to a situation where you feel Marson's going to throw enough strikes. Hey, let those hitters swing at it.
This is hit into right field. Once again, the leadoff hitter is aboard through 5 innings. Alabama's continued to apply the pressure.
It's been impressive. I tell you, Alabama is they're not backing down. And take a look here at Milam, has good opposite field power, but again, gets the bat head out. Nice base hit into right field. Take a look at it and again, pitch up, out over the plate. Good swing.
Here's J.R. Kitchens now trying to help his own cause. He has been battling all morning long on the hill, and he'll take ball 1.
We saw the complexion of this game change with one swing of the bat by Carson Rucker. Here you get that same ability to have that happen. You got J.R. Kitchens who has home run power himself. Again, he hits a long one. Now we got a tie ball game. That's how fast things can change at this level.
Strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike to Kitchens, the guy they call Big Red. High and outside. So Ladonia Youth Sports Little League versus Goodlettsville Little League here in this first game of this Little League Southeastern Regional Championship. Trevor Marson, third pitcher of the game for Tennessee. And that's a tough pitch right there. High and hard, 2-2.
Yeah, just power against power. As a pitcher, you're saying, look, this is my best fastball. As a hitter, I'm going to try to put my best swing on it. That time advantage, Marson.
Big pitch coming up here. 2-2. Kitchens is retired. He wanted that one back. Trevor Marson. Now this guy can really bring it. Mike, he is a horse.
Yeah, really, and this is what you like to see. He's throwing his best fastball. Kitchens, a ball just maybe a little bit too high, but again, too close to take. It's a pitch as elevated. If you can put a good swing on it and make good contact, that's the ball that goes out of the ballpark the easiest.
Brings up Colton Wombles now. And Wombles takes a strike.
And Marson, no nonsense. We've seen him throw a couple of off-speed pitches, but it's pretty much just been, here's my best heater, do what you want with it.
Wombles got things started for Alabama in the first inning with that big RBI single. Down quickly here, 0-2.
And just as I say it, there was that breaking ball. Wombles looking heater and looking for the express and got the local. He missed it.
Wombles, 3 pitches, and he is quickly sat down. So 2 outs.
Interesting strategy from the Tennessee coaching staff. Chris Hood deciding, Marson, who may be their toughest pitcher, bringing him in early in the ball game, and almost like a save situation where we think that we've got 1 run. We think this guy is going to be able to get us that close this game out, and that's all about the depth in the pitching staff. This is their 3rd guy. They won't have these guys eligible for tomorrow, but again, you go ahead and win today, win tomorrow, then you worry about that some other time.
Quick 2 strikes to Carson Gilly. Pitching by committee, effective for Tennessee. R.J. Moore, Andrew McWilliams, and now Trevor Marson. This one gets away, and the base runner will head to second base. So Milam now in scoring position.
Logan Harrell, it's a tough pitch as a catcher because the ball comes in, it's tailing away. You're not sure if it's going to hit the hitter. You throw the glove out there, and it goes in, and that's one of those, just had a little bit too much tail on it.
See Logan Harrell behind the plate. Done a good job managing 3 different pitchers on this Tennessee team. And there is a heater to sit Alabama down in the 5th. Trevor Marson, that fastball working right now. Tennessee still on top 4-2.
Fun is underway here at the Little League World Series. Shortstop, go!
And he crushes one to right. My goodness.
We got ourselves an unbelievable Little League baseball game.
It's a feeling it's never gone. It's the reason keeps you coming back again. Summer forever.
There it is! They get it! The perfect season!
What has been the pinnacle in youth sports, the Little League World Series. Southeast Regional, Alabama, Tennessee. It's been a great opening contest here on this first day of competition in Warner Robins, Georgia. Drew Felios alongside Mike LaValliere. Mike, surprised at how well played this game has been since the start.
Yeah, it really is, and I tell you, the Alabama team has been one hit away from, really getting back into it, tying it up. They've had runners every single inning. Tennessee is almost like their defense is kind of like bend but don't break. They've let plenty of guys from Alabama on, but again, just keeping them down to 2 runs.
Easton Dillard now to lead it off for Tennessee. Big cut for strike 1. Easton Dillard, one of the 3 returning players on this Tennessee roster. Tremendous passion for the game as he fouls one off. Mike, I want you to look at the belt loop of Easton Dillard on his back belt right there. You see the wires hanging out. He is a full diabetic. He wears a pump. He has insulin pumped into him throughout the game. Remember this great story from last year. Dillard has continued to play through this. A diabetic who is making the best of it here at the Little League level.
Yeah, the miracles of modern medicine and the desire of a young man that trying to live his dream. It's it's a great combination that we're seeing.
J.R. Kitchens pitched a fabulous ball game for Alabama, as this one is fouled away once again. And looks like these could be the final pitches coming up for J.R. Kitchens.
Once you get to these thresholds, you can finish out the batter, but right now if they let him go any further after another batter, they're going to miss him for 4 days. So now they're going to try to get him back in 3 days. Should they try to, or actually if they pull him right now, it would be 2 days rest. So they're going to try to get the most out of him and see what happens.
Easton Dillard, base hit into left field. So Dillard is aboard, continuing to provide a spark to Tennessee, and that could be it now for J.R. Kitchens.
That's a tough decision as you're a coach. You're still in this ball game. You've got your best guy out there. He's pitched a whale of a ball game. He's given up 4 runs. His defense let him down on one of the runs, but again, he's given max effort out. They're going to go ahead and make a change. Bring in it looks like Yoxheimer, and just see if Yoxheimer can keep him in the ball game, and maybe have a chance where Kitchens helps him down the road.
J.R. Kitchens gets a nice round of applause. So Kitchens goes 4 innings. Let's recap how we got to this point. 4-2 lead for Tennessee. Early fireworks as Alabama got to work in the first inning. They took advantage of several Tennessee miscues.
Well, they had a couple of walks, some wild pitches. There, the big base hit by Wombles, and there you see another wild pitch. The ball ends up being thrown in the dirt to first base. Wombles comes around, scores, gives them a 2-0 lead.
But in the third inning, Carson Rucker, a big 3-run bomb, statement made for the defending champions.
Well, and it really changed the complexion of the game. Tennessee had done nothing prior to that, and then you see one swing of the bat, one mistake by Kitchens. Carson, the veteran guy, the leader, the guy that's been there, done that, goes ahead and proves his worth to that ball club and gives them that 1-run lead. Since then, they've tacked on one more, and again, doing enough to have the lead thus far.
7 hits for Tennessee, only 1 error in this ball game made by the defending champions. As you see, Jackson Yoxheimer, the new pitcher for Alabama. Mike, what kind of stuff does he bring to the hill?
Well, Yoxheimer is all about location. He's not about velocity. He's going to be in the middle or low 60s. He does throw a curveball, does throw a changeup, but for him to be effective, he's got to hit his spots.
Kitchens moves to center field. That ball will allow Easton Dillard to advance to second base.
Just as I talk about a young man out on the mound that relies on control, he throws one in the dirt. The announcer Jinx hits again.
Hit hard, right center field. And this is going to be a one-hopper to the wall. Rucker's going to make the turn for second. Easton Dillard in to score. Tennessee has extended their lead to 5-2.
Well, Carson Rucker again comes up big with the big 3-run homer. Now he's got a shot in a right center field, hits the base of the wall. An easy double for Rucker, cruises into second base. And again, you've got experience. You let that experience lead you.
So how about Carson Rucker today? Big RBI double, also a 3-run home run. He's got 4 RBIs, representing 4 of those 5 Tennessee runs.
Replacing number 9, Tyler Nixon, now batting number 66, Jeffrey Powell.
So Jeffrey Powell steps to bat for Tennessee. His first at-bat of the game.
And this is where, as Tennessee, they won't hit in the bottom of the 6th inning, so they've got to make sure that they get everybody in their lineup to hit this inning. Again, they've got 13 guys on the roster. They've got 4 substitutes. You got to make sure that each one of those 4 get a base hit.
Outside part of the plate for strike 1, 1-1.
That's a good pitch by Yoxheimer. Off-speed pitch, cut the outside corner.
Powell watches this one outside. Powell puts it in play. Good play by the first baseman. Steps on the bag. And that is going to be the first out. So good job by Jackson Milam. He's played a really good first base today for Alabama.
He has, and for me, Jeffrey Powell doing an outstanding job. You get that runner to third base with less than 2 outs. Lots of ways to score. What that does, that brings that infield in. Now it's easier to shoot it through. A fly ball now scores them. That's almost a lost art, and I think there's a lot of big league guys out there that don't make productive outs. Right there, Jeffrey Powell, outstanding effort.
Could see a new pitcher in the next inning for Tennessee. Trevor Marson has been dealing well for the defending champions. They want to save him, though, as the pitch count will once again come into effect. And R.J. Moore, who started the game on the hill for Tennessee, now at the plate. Moore gets a hold of one. This carrying to center field. And Kitchens makes the catch on the warning trap. Still will bring in a run for Tennessee as Rucker tags up, and it's 6-2.
Well, that's where Jeffrey Powell inside the dugout right now. Yes, he grounded out to the right side, and that's a 0 for 1. But, you should get a half an RBI for that. A great job by Moore hitting the ball deep enough to score Carson Rucker. But, again, that run right there, hey, hats off, Jeffrey Powell. Nice going.
So now Trevor Marson for Tennessee with 2 outs. Base is cleared. Is that the toughest thing in Little League Baseball to understand, Mike, that it's not always the big play that makes a difference, it's the small ones that do as well?
I tell you one thing, there's a lot of big leaguers that need to learn that, Drew. In a situation where, and just the way the game's being played, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of situations where, you need to be situationally aware of where you are. Look, I need to move this runner. I need to put the ball in play. And it just doesn't seem like that is as prevalent as it was back in the day, and where you're manufacturing a run. There, Tennessee manufactured that run.
Jackson Yoxheimer trying to get his team to the dugout. Alabama showing lots of life offensively, but only able to push 2 runs across here this morning. Marson watches a pitch on the outside part of the plate, barely outside the strike zone. Got to be careful here, because Marson, a guy certainly with home run power, and he'll take ball 4. So Trevor Marson on first with 2 outs. And this is going to bring Caleb Gupton up to bat. Gupton, son of Kelly Gupton. Kelly, the assistant coach for Goodlettsville. Also played for Goodlettsville Little League back in the day. This ball in the dirt, toss it back down to first, and back in time is Marson. I'd love to see guys that played Little League Baseball go back years later to coach at that particular park. Carry that extra pride in the dugout. This one misses outside, 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning, Tennessee leading 6-2. Foul ball to the left side by Gupton, and it's 2-1. Goodlettsville, Tennessee, Southeast Regional champs last year, trying to get to Williamsport for the 3rd year all time. Early on with Ladonia, Alabama standing in their way. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Gupton. Waves at that one, still 2-2.
Be interesting to see if Tennessee scores a couple more runs, if they're going to leave Marson in there. It's a situation where I know when teams get up a bunch or down a bunch, that affects their pitching and who they use. If I'm Tennessee, though, this hard-fought battle, I'm going to leave Marson in as long as I can and go ahead and nail this down. You just can't play, once you get ahead, get a chance to win, hey, you got to get that W.
Full count now, and timeout going to be called in the box. Upton will step out. Alabama pitchers trying to work quickly in this game. Yaxheimer delivers, and that's outside the zone again, ball 4. So that's the 20th pitch for Jackson Yaxheimer. Now he'll get a visit from Colton Wombles.
Decision here at 20 pitches. If they take him out of the ball game, he'll be eligible for tomorrow. And it kind of looks like Coach Chris Gilley gonna at least have a chat with him. I don't know if they'll make a change here. Or again, these coaches, a lot of them coach different teams in their leagues, so they've got an idea of really all of these players.
Gonna have another pitching change, so we will step aside. 6-2 ball game. Alabama making their 3rd change of the day. Little League University provides free educational information online for coaches, umpires, league volunteers, and parents. Watch videos, review practice plans, or get some ideas for playing catch in the backyard. Go to littleleagueuniversity.org today. 3rd pitcher of the morning for Alabama is Jackson Milam. Will get the ball here in the 5th.
Yeah, Jackson Milam, good fastball, upper 60s, may touch 70 on it. Change up, he's pretty much a no-nonsense guy. Gets to the mound, here's my best heater, see what you can do with it. And from the coaches said, it's easy. He's either on or he's not. It doesn't take long. So obviously they're trying to get Jackson to get out of this mess, keep it to a 4-run deficit, and then do whatever they can do to at least tie it up, if not go ahead in the top of the 6th.
Yaxheimer moves to center field for Alabama. Kitchens goes over to first base. And the hitter for Tennessee will be Andrew McWilliams. I think if Tennessee gets the win here today, this guy right here, Andrew McWilliams, of course, Rucker has had the big swings at the plate, Mike, but him coming in and shutting the door on Alabama, kind of calming that lineup when they were red hot early on, I think is going to be the big difference in this game.
We just saw early, they've got the new rule of keeping that 1 foot in the box, and at that point it's about a safety thing for the umpire. You can't pitch while that guy's looking down at the third baseman, so we saw that happen where the pitcher thinking, well, he's in the box, I can go ahead and throw, but they our home plate umpire David Singleton went ahead and stopped that.
To McWilliams, and now ball 4. So the bases loaded for Tennessee. That, of course, new rule for Little League Baseball this year, keeping that foot in the box meant, of course, to speed up the game, correct?
Sure, and it's one of the things I know that they've tried to implement that at the big league level. Again, they're trying to make things a little bit more efficient. A number of different rule changes, intentional walks, of actually not having to throw the ball towards home plate and just go ahead and pointing them down to first base. That's been instituted in the big league level. That's been instituted here at the Little League level.
Ryan Dankins, rather Logan Harrell swinging for Tennessee. How about a pitch clock, Mike? Sort of similar to a shot clock in basketball. Would that be something that you think Major League Baseball should entertain?
Well, they've got something in play, at least in between innings. But it's, to me, I love the game. The longer, the better.
Tennessee 6-2 over Alabama. Final at bat for Alabama is coming up. Tennessee leading Alabama by a score of 6-2 as we head to the 6th inning, and we got a full slate of games throughout the day. Virginia, Georgia coming up at 1 o'clock, Florida, West Virginia at 4, and North Carolina, South Carolina in our 7 o'clock nightcap. So we're going to see the 4th pitcher coming up for Tennessee. Trevor Marson moves to the outfield, left field to be exact. And Mike, the big thing with him is he will be eligible tomorrow.
Well, the game within the game. Marson had 20 pitches. They got him out of there. They choose to go with Easton Dillard. That's going to start off this inning. But again, it's about how you feel about somebody that can close this game out. They feel confident in Easton Dillard. Now they got Marson for tomorrow.
Tennessee will move R.J. Moore in the infield. Moore will move to second base. And here's the numbers on Dillard. Favorite athlete, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, I saw Derek his rookie year, and everybody looking at him saying, who's this hot shot? Well, this is a guy that was just the consummate professional. I love the way he played. Being a kid growing up in New England, not a big Yankee fan, having the Red Sox. But again, this is a guy that really commanded respect by the way he played the game.
Lane Griggs, the leadoff hitter for Alabama. Keep in mind, Alabama has put the leadoff hitter aboard in every inning. Can they do it again?
Easton Dillard mixing medium fastball, 62, 64 miles an hour, throws a cutter and a curveball. So that cutter comes in looking like a fastball and just goes away from those right-handed hitters, goes into the lefties. It's really a pitch that's in vogue in the big leagues, can be very effective, but it just again comes in looking like the heater, and then before you know it, it's breaking a little bit too much.
2-2 to Griggs. Strike 3. So Easton Dillard off to the good start. 1 away. He needs 2 more outs to lead Tennessee to an opening round victory.
Well, there was that cutter right there. Again, as a hitter, you read fastball out of the hand, and then before you know it, it's breaking out of the zone, and that's exactly what Dillard did. The key to that pitch is being ahead in the count.
Wyatt Tharp now takes a big cut, fouls this one away. That's the first time in this game that Alabama has not put their leadoff hitter on.
Let's go!
Another big swing. Easton Dillard right now not quite as hard a thrower as Marson or McWilliams or R.J. Moore. Right now you can tell he's got this Alabama lineup a little bit off balance.
Yeah, I've been there. I looked at Wyatt Tharp. We had a nice close-up, and he looked a little perplexed. The same feeling I had in Little League with the first curveball that I saw. And I wanted to call timeout and say, hey, that's not fair. How am I supposed to hit that thing?
And another strikeout for Easton Dillard. Easton Dillard with all the right stuff. Second strikeout of the game.
Now batting number 10, Brandon Green.
Now it's Brandon Green's turn. He's the final hope here for Alabama.
A good swing at that fastball. I'd have to think Dillard, with his array of off speed, his curveball, and that cutter. I think you're probably looking at, that's the finishing pitchers that they're probably going to utilize. We'll take a look, and you see the Logan Harrell calling for the pitch outside.
Brandon Green's got surprising power. He's 1 for 2 today. Two outs here in the 6th. 1 and 2 now. And Alabama's down to their last strike.
As that cutter by Dillard, again, way outside, but as a hitter reading, that's going to be on the outside corner. You don't pick up the spin, before you know it, it's way away from you.
The 1-2. This one's outside. Of course, the key here early in this Little League Southeastern Regional, of course, you want to win. You want to keep pitch counts down. Stay in that winner's bracket. Tennessee, they know the road to Williamsport. 2-2 pitch is outside. Now 3-2. Of course, if Alabama were to drop this game, still playing, still alive, but a much different situation to deal with, Mike.
Yeah, and that's really, if you get in that loser's bracket, you really end up having to utilize your entire staff. The more you can conserve pitches, the better off you are. But some of these teams, they've proven that they're very deep pitching-wise, and by no means are they out of it.
Big cut there. Tennessee drifting to the left side, and the play is made as the shortstop comes over to make the catch. So Carson Rucker, the hero offensively, able to make the final stab of the game for the defending champions, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Final score 6-2 over Alabama. Well played game on both sides.
Well, you really got to tip your cap to the experience of Goodlettsville, Tennessee. You could see that they were down early. They didn't panic. They kept swinging the bats. They had quality pitching throughout. They used 4 of their pitchers, but again, they've got a couple of guys that will be eligible for tomorrow. But this is a matter to me of really a team that just maybe has a little bit too much experience. J.R. Kitchens did a fabulous job for Alabama. Kept them in the ball game. Really was effective. Again, 1 mistake, 2 an experienced guy, Carson Rucker, 3-run bomb, changed the whole complexion of this ball game. Rucker ended up getting another double for 4 RBIs on the day. So experience prevailed in this ball game.
6-2 the final score. Tennessee, the defending champions, over Alabama. We're just getting started here in Warner Robins as our next contest comes up at 1 o'clock. Virginia takes on Georgia. Until then, for Mike LaValliere, the former Pittsburgh Pirate, and our entire crew here in Warner Robins, I'm Drew Felios. So long. We'll see you at 1 o'clock here on ESPN3.